morning, good day to you. As usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers from Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Yes, we are back another year in the Christian calendar, and soon in other calendars, the Chinese, and then the God knows the Iranians and the Arabs and the rest of it, and we keep on celebrating New Year's, and it adds up somewhere together. Yes, 2025 is a very strange year because when it coincides with other calendars, it brings out some magical numbers. This first time this century, which we add up as a double-digit square root, a square of many numbers, and it adds up to many. If you go by the square of 1 to 9, total sum is 225, and a lot of people think it's a square number and a right number, which makes the 9 the completion, and coincidentally is the same with other nationalities or what they call it, cultural beliefs. Some of them add up to 9 again, which is the completion of the cycle. So we'll see what 2025 brings. It doesn't change the creation of the universe. It's something just in the head of the man. I have to apologize for last week. I was very bad, not by viruses, but by infection, which was caught somewhere, God knows where, but every now and then we get the human diseases where viruses don't touch us that much. It's beautiful to see how the cycle of the plasma will bring us back into many, many dimensions. If you consider plasma, the way we describe it, as a collection of fields in working in coordination with each other, you'll find a new dimension in the science. What does this mean? If I can manage to separate one field from one plasma and be able to manipulate it, be able to give it field energy to elevate its strength, or take from it that it becomes part of me, then the science of creation becomes extremely interesting. What does this mean? This means if we can separate one strand of magnetic field, one line of it, on its own, be it coming to us or going away from us, and be able to add to it, or given the strength, or take from it in a way that we control what we take from this line, then we understand the process of creation. This means that we understand how to create. The creation does not mean observation, detection. Creation means that affecting other fields, other conditions, and creating your own environment in a way we manipulate field strength, but at the same time, to manipulate it, we need to bring additional energies, additional magnetic fields in motion at the strength that can interact. This is the cornerstones of man's capability to travel the span of universe. Why is it important? When it comes to the end game, when it comes to the time when we want to travel from Mars to Earth, or from Earth to Moon, we don't need collection and collective fields. We need one field which interacts with the place, time, and position on a specific point in that target, which lands us exactly where we want to be. because he has his own fingerprint of the strength. That's why he's that position, on that surface, on that environment. So the next step of the knowledge, in a coming time for knowledge seekers to learn, is separation of fields, individual fields, and then manipulation of it, to travel on it, to come back on it, to take energy from it, to give energy to it. Singularity of the fields. Up to now, when we speak about the plasma, we speak about collection of fields. Now we have to understand the singularity of fields. As we know, every line of magnet is connected to another end magnet. Identifying the strength, which one, and to what limitation we want to use that field is the name of the game. Now that we understand more of. In a way, you want to go from, let's say, London to Manchester, you have one motorway which links you direct. You have to find that motorway. For you to go from Mars to Moon, from Moon to another point in the universe, and land up in this place where you want to be. You don't want to get on any motorway and end up in another city. Your destination is a certain point. We have to find these highways of the space. We have to educate ourselves that we don't end up in the wrong place. Separation of the magnetic fields and understanding the communication line is one of the crucial part of the technology which will be upcoming in the teaching of this year. Which means I want to land in such a building, in such a room, in such a city, and not on another planet. That position is like a fingerprint. It has a specific strength. How do we detect it? How do we know where we land? And how do we know that in landing we will have everything which we came in with? Do we become another carriage on the bandwidth of the fields, or do we become a field ourselves attached to that field? You have to realize the information of the life entity has to be carried on a single line information, single line magnetic field. And that is the secret of the space travel. Otherwise, you're an object, you'll have resistance, and then in having resistance, you have to overcome. It means you have to tap to other energies to be able to keep up to where you want to be. And if you understand this process, and if you can analyze it to reach a singular line of energy containing all what is needed, then you understand the process of the Creator and the creation. This is why we speak about God being single, because everything else along that single line is carried. Then its interaction and division leads to the creation of life, the universe, and the rest of it. In the process of transmutation, in the process of transportation, man has to become aware of the dimension which he works with and within. As we always said, transmutation is a condition of the matter state. Transmutation is a condition of energy state. And both are right. And man has to decide to understand both knowledge, energy and the matter state. This is one of the biggest problems of today for man who cannot understand the science of plasma. because they cannot distinguish between the matter state, which is the same fields but in the point of observation, and the energy state of the same. What does this mean? And how much man can manipulate the energy state in its singularity will show the intelligence of man, understanding the process of creation. The way in the matter state man manipulates to create different systems and computers and materials. Now man has to learn how to manipulate energy lines, magnetic fields in motion, where you can bend it, where you can divide it, where you can bring it to interact at the point and dimension you need. This become important for knowledge seekers or travelers to space. Go back to the patterns and read how you make a wall, how you make a partition, how do you make a craft without actually a single brick with a single piece of atom. The process of creation has to be understood on its both matter state and energy state, and manipulation of each and both at the same time. Energy defined in the plasma or magnetic field is magnetic field in motion. Does not matter how man translates energy in the matter state, the potential, kinetic energy, and the rest of it, because then he has to confirm the condition of the matter manifestation, where in the dimension of energy, magnetic field in motion is only one. It has no kinetic and it has no potential because it's always constant. But the elevation of the amplitude and the frequency is a matter of the matter state. How you bring close to each other the gravitational and magnetical fields of a field of rays then dictates the power of understanding of the man about the knowledge of the creation. Where in matter state you understand respect to position of, energy state is respect to strength of. When we did tests in the laboratories, when we are within a plasma, as we explained before, we don't see any waves. It's always constant, it's zero, it's DC. The minute we go far enough that we have to interact with other fields in trying to confirm the interaction, we see waves. Confirmation of the interaction, confirmation of existence. In the process of the knowledge and gaining the knowledge, then you understand that in that DC, inside the plasma, is a spectrum of energies. It's not just one. And depending on which one interacts at the boundary of the field with another field which creates a wave, dictates what we call the salinity, the inertia, the conformation. This all has the same meaning. Then, once you understand this, man will be able to manipulate space-time as a field and energy, and not as a matter state condition of the what we call wavelength. Inertia is the sign of interaction of the fields at a given specific field strength. Once you understand this, you will understand how electric current is created, how what we call energy transfers are done. And this is at this moment of time, lacking in the vocabulary of knowledge of the man. When you give inertia of the field energy, you create electricity. This is what Tesla understood, and the world of creation and science up to now is baffled by it. He didn't understand any more than that. You give inertia, you create gold from the plasma fields. But at the same time, energy, magnetic field in motion has its own inertia, which creates what you call the current flow. And this has never been explained and defined in the world of science of today. And maybe as a breakthrough in the world of science, for the first time, mankind has the opportunity to understand and be able to convert between one and the other. Inertia of the matter and inertia of the energy. Those scientists who become wise to understand this will break into new science and technologies of the creation, far beyond present man's understanding. Every manifestation needs its inertia. Every manifestation needs its salinity, which means the interaction between two field forces of different base strength. Once you understand this, you have broken into knowledge of the creation, transportation, transmutation, and how to reach the ultimate goal, the center of the universe. Once you analyze to understand the creation of the creator depends on this. Even light needs inertia for it to manifest itself. In the body of man, we call it salinity. The conformation of one dissolves the other. In the body of the man, we always look at the wrong side of the process of the creation. We call it alkalineness and acidity, where acidity creates conformation of collection in bringing together, when what we call salinity, it brings separation in condition of fields, determination of their own position. That's why they say if your body is more alkaline, you can't get cancer, which means cells cannot come together. It's the same with the energy of the fields of the universe. Inertia, collection of the interaction of the fields, dictates the strength, the fields, and the position of the fields. And for world of science, this has never been understood. And if you understand this, then you understand why you have different colors in the inertia of the materials, the lights we observe. Man has not understood that the color range, color spectrum of the plasma or the light is inertia dependent on the field strength of the magnetic field energy transportation and nothing else. Colors are created due to salinity, what you call the physical body of the man, or inertia of the magnetic field strength itself. Then you understand how the spectrum of our colors are played in the dimension of the matter state, and how they have so many different effects on the body of the man. As we spoke in the last teachings, how the choice of carbon will give us different colors that is added to the food of today. Go back and understand why. That carbon has given inertia field strength that it allows it to manifest itself at that strength. If man understands this and translates it to inertia, not just the color spectrum, then man has managed to understand how to separate the fields of the universe and in which fields to travel in one direction and one dimension and in one position. As the universe is a colorful spectrum of the inertias which man has not understood. Inertia of the magnetic field, which manifests itself as the energy of light, colors of light, is the secret to man's transmutation and transportation in the universe, where in a matter state you count it by the speed of light, kilometers per hour, and God knows how many tons. Knowledge of inertia in the dimension of the energy, magnetic fields in motion, is the secret to man's knowledge in understanding the totality of the world of the creation and why and how you can transmute to a given point specific to the color range inertia, fingerprint of the time, place, and position. Many of you do not understand. It's hard for you to grasp this concept. But for those scientists who understand the inertia of the energy of the magnetic fields, they'll find massive breakthroughs in 2025 in transferring energy, food, man, and everything else, and opening the span of the universe to the world of creation. There is a technique in how to create this inertia. There is a technique in how to separate this inertia. There is a technique that will bring the knowledge of man to understand what you call magnetic field energy radiation. In a coming time, we'll open this door of knowledge, inertia of light, inertia of magnetic field in motion, inertia of energy. Where man is only used to inertia on planet and a matter state. Understanding this process, understanding the separation of the field inertia, magnetic field in motion, is the secret to a precise delivery of any matter or energy to anywhere in the universe. But once you go in that side, once you understand the inertia of light, now man will have to understand how to convert the energy of the matter to energy of light. That inertia is the key point to understand the process of creation. This is how the soul of the creator travels the span of the universe and the unicos. And this knowledge now is in the hand of the man. You will create light in the sky, and the color of that light, according not to the observation of the sight of the man, but the observation of the field, the strength of the inertia of the energy of the man, will dictate what you are facing. Is it life? Is it collection of the fields, position of it, strength of it, intention of it, emotion of it? Understanding the inertia of the light or magnetic field in motion is the next steps in the world of science and technology, which will bring in breakthroughs in a science that man could never imagine. In a way, by looking at your aura, understanding the inertia of the light of it, I can see where the light comes in from which organ inside you, and then what condition it has, and then how it interacts with another one opposite to it. Your emotion, dimension of understanding, your cancer, dimension of observation, and the rest of it. Inertia of magnetic fields or light will become part of the structure of the teaching and understanding and opening of the new doors in the dimension of the space travel, transmutation, and the rest. We start explaining this by manifestation and confirmation. There is a technique in producing inertia of the energy fields. We already have achieved this in the laboratories of the Keshe Foundation, and we dictate how is that, how fields, what we call radiations, are created out of the matter state without involving any other condition. And once you understand this, then you learn, you in a way sequentially find out which fields with radiations you can transfer your physical body in a direction of the inertia of the fields to be able to transmute the span of the universe, where a matter state will receive resistance, and then in that position you have a limitation, where in transmutation to inertia of the fields, of the magnetic fields, man has no limitation in speed, time, space and travel. So in the coming months we start to understand more and more about inertia of magnetic fields, not inertia in a matter state, even though the two are entangled and work within, but it's the knowledge of the man which separates it. If I want to work with the inertia of the matter state, point of observation, or inertia of the energy, point of interaction of the field of the universe. Once knowledge seekers become wise to this knowledge, the inertia of the magnetic field, the inertia of light, then you understand the fallacies that the light can never bend. Light bends, magnetic field bends, if you can create the inertia of it. Any magnetic field, any light at any frequency of man, point of observation, is bendable. Man cannot bend it, and it comes with so many fallacies that we have heard from God knows scientists, that why doesn't the light bends and in some places bends? Because man has not understood that the light itself has an inertia, and if the light comes across environment which carries inertia, it will bend. And this is how the universe is created, and it bends to a spherical shape, flat, spherical, and whatever shape you like, because the inertia at a point of what we call deformation has been reached. This is how carbon 60 creates the physicality at the point of inertia of the energy and not matter. And that is why it's always can be created, dictated, and transferred and transmuted. So where the energy fields of what we call carbon bends to create that spherical shape of the plasma, is where the inertia of the light or magnetic field energy in the direction and in the measure of the fields has been reached. You can bend the light in any direction in a space, and you can bend it and does not travel the full length from the center to the outer edge of the universe. It has been bent, and it'll bend so many times because at different points, different inertia feel the strength of the magnetic field will interact with it, which dictates how to pull and how to reject it and how to divert it and how to bend it. And this becomes the point of knowledge, because then by creating systems, you can create walls, you create the structures without any bricks, where you learn how to bend the magnetic fields. As I said, in the laboratories, when we create what you call UFOs, there is no bending. We create the inertia of the magnetic fields within our system, is the energy inertia and not the matter inertia, which we know how to play with. And if you understand this, you can create collisions, you can bring divisions, you can create any magnetic nuclear field radiation. You do not need uranium or plutonium to create gamma, X-ray, and beta ray and the rest of it, because if you know how to bring the fields together, then you create that interaction, magnetic fields, what we call sequential passage, that leads to the creation of given strength. In the world of X-ray, we make a high current, we get a target and we hit and we say we create X-ray. X-rays are created in the universe without any target, by interaction of magnetic fields, plasmatic magnetic fields. You do not need a target, you do not need a high voltage. It's done in the ambient temperature, in the ambient speed of the travel of the magnetic field in motion. This is how I always said I can produce the effect of the nuclear material without a single gram of nuclear material. Because we understand the interaction of the fields and the inertia which is needed to create that. Our knowledge seekers have been taught the knowledge how to create this, how to create inertia of the fields by interaction of magnetic fields, and not by targeting and by what we call X-rays and gamma ray machines and nuclear reactors. We play with the energies and not with the matter. We play with the inertia of the energies and not with the inertia of matter. This technology is a cornerstone of man's development, understanding the work of the universe. And once you understand it, the key to transmutation will open up. You can control it by emotion. You can control it by feel the strength within the dimension of the plasma. Then when you allow the fields in the plasma, what we call non-potential dimension, to interact with the environment of potential dimension, then you create what we call the radiation. The field, the specific length and dimension and the strength without the amplitude, but with the frequency. This is a game which man needs to understand. And then you will understand the opening of the space, the knowledge of transportation and transmutation. And 2025 is where man will understand the inertia of the energy, magnetic fields in motion. And once you understand that, the way you play with inertia, you play with gravity on this planet, man will play the game of the universe. Inertia of the energy, magnetic field in motion, is the game of gods, the creators. And for man to reach that level, he has to be detached from the dimension of physicality to be able to understand the process of the inertia of the magnetic fields in motion. Months ago, when you go through the teaching, you'll find out that we spoke that within the plasma is a DC, there is no frequency. Now you understand why we started the topic then, that now you understand in that strength, only inertia of the magnetic field in motion plays, as it has no frequency, because it's within the strength of its own elements of the field's energy. Now you understand the game and the process which has started. I have hidden this knowledge in the teachings of past 10 years. And then it's for you to unravel, to understand. Our knowledge seekers who work with us in laboratories have been taught, and they've been playing with this for past year or two. Now it's time to become common knowledge. How to play, how to create the inertia of light. Then the question of the light doesn't bend, you cannot bend it, and it bends sometime near a star. It's all resolved, because now you understand that light has inertia. And if within the star its balance or its what we call counterpart is created, it will affect it, because the only thing which bends the magnetic fields is another magnetic field. It's attracted, or it gets repelled, or it gets positioned. Then, if you understand this in the later stages of the knowledge, then you can see within the soul of the Creator, as it has no inertia and has no dimension of frequency. The inertia of light, the inertia of magnetic field in motion, the inertia of magnetic fields in the dimension of creation is the secret of transmutation. It's the secret of what we call travel the span of the universe as a zero time. Inertia of magnetic fields, once understood, it opens a new dimension to the world of the what we call man's knowledge of creation. And it will change many, many things. Man will never touch a nuclear material. Man will never develop nuclear weapons. As once you understand this, we can change the dimension of the fields of the radiation. And in a very hidden way, this is what we did in Fukushima. This is what we do in absorbing radiation. We don't create gravity to absorb and hold material. We create inertia of the fields of the radiation. It's a different principle, it's a different understanding, it's a different knowledge altogether. I hope I open your eyes into a new science of creation. Inertia of energy, inertia of the field, inertia of light. And then, once you understand this, you're already familiar with it, a new manipulation of the transportation, how to get on higher speed waves, magnetic fields, to travel the span of universe, become child's play. And then, how you interact it will lead you to manifestation of the matter state at any point, time and place in the universe. Then you understand why your soul travels the span of universe to a given position. At that position, it creates the inertia of the fields of your soul, which leads to creation of the what we call a star. Magnetic field in motion, in collection, in respect to its environment. So your soul, your creation of the soul of the man is that inertia of the fields, which has a given what we call salinity in the matter state for it to manifest itself to lead to creation of the new time, place, position and entity in the universe. You become that inertia, you become that inertia of a light of the plasma, and then according to its strength and the position, you understand even why you travel. Your soul takes the journey to that point in the universe. That's where its salinity allows the creation of the life, manifestation of the physicality. So in a way, your soul is an inertia field for us in the dimension of magnetic fields. Now you understand the purpose of your soul. And nothing but collection of the field strength and the given inertia fields, magnetic fields, of the dimension of what you have created within the physical structure of the man. And then you understand how to elevate your soul. Then you understand how to attain new position in the realm of the creation. This is the secret of life. Understanding the inertia of light. Light being the essence of the Creator, with no dimension of physicality, but energy in transportation. Then, if you understand this, you understand how hydrogen becomes carbon, and then becomes carbon 14, becomes carbon 16, and then it becomes carbon 60, or combination of the elements of 60 to create the universe, which is self It's the inertia, interacting with the inertia of the light itself that leads to elusive dimension of containment, what we call carbon-60. But in the matter state, you need the inertia of matter to confirm the tangibility and physicality and confirmation of existence. This is the knowledge of creation and a secret why the change will come in 2025. Man will understand for the first time the inertia of light, the inertia of the magnetic fields in motion. And once you understand this, there is no need for cars or UFOs and nothing else. The creator soul does not travel on a UFO for it to manifest on earth or anywhere else in the embodiment of the physicality of the man or the soul of the man. Now you understand the secret of creation. Inertia of light, inertia of the magnetic field in motion, where there is no frequency but consistency and zero time travel, zero time positioning, as every point is zero time on its own. Now you understand how every magnetic field can bend, can turn, can do everything you need, because you never understood that light has its own inertia. And that's the secret of the knowledge man needs to learn, which inertia fits into one. Inertia on earth in a given strength become gold, and another inertia given strength become iron, and another given inertia in the non-tangible direction of attachments become gases. Now man needs to learn the inertia of the magnetic fields. And then, by controlling it, he can create the gas, the matter, the water, and everything else in the universe. In a way, this is what, in a very hidden way, your glands, your limbs do in your body. So it's not a hidden knowledge. You never understood how to change the magnetic fields into energy, into the light, and then into matter inertia. I hope I have opened your eyes into the dimension of the what I call creation and creator, and how what you call carbon-60 is, and light doesn't burn, where everything is bendable if you can create is inertia, even magnetic field. We go for a small break and we come back, and I hope you have opened your eyes to new knowledge, inertia of the light, inertia of energy, and how to create it, and how in creating it understand to manipulate it, and in a way by interaction of it create new dimension, new materials, and everything else which the man might desire in the universe, as is done every second in millions of ways in every cell of your body. And what man never understood, for example, in your limbs, in your kitchen, how your body, you eat meat, you eat vegetables, all gets converted to given whatever, vitamin C gets converted into copper and everything else. This is how your body works. Your limbs are that position of zero place time conversion, energy conversion, and then manifestation in the field plasma of the matter. Then you call it a copper and blood and iron in your body. So what we see in macro, we see in micro. What we see in the creation of the conversion of the fields into material state plasma of your body is the essence of the creation of the universe, where inertia created through the lights, inertia of light by itself, by interaction of its own dimension, leads to creation of the universe. Then you can be carbon 12, 14, 16, and 60, and the rest now fit in anywhere dimension and position in the universe. We go for a break and we come back, and I would like you to ponder on this for time to come, and then you might find out the secret of creation, the inertia of magnetic fields, which man never understood.